We reviewed and we revised the file. I sent the revised file to Administrative Services, and they have now uploaded it onto their website. So it now has correct contact information. There were some items that are no longer generated or kept at the Arts Commission, and those have been removed. And then there were a few things where the description was clarified slightly. Mm-hmm. So let's see. The one last thing that I noticed on the Index of Records website was that they had an incorrect link to the Arts Commission's website page. Mm-hmm. So I've sent an email to Administrative Services, and I expect that they will correct that within the next day or so.
Okay.
We also will be we'll be reviewing the policy with staff of the Arts Commission, and I will be going over that with both at the program directors meeting, so that'll be the upper level of the Arts Commission, and also we're going to review it at one of the staff meetings so that people understand what's involved and what everybody needs to do.
Okay. So basically you have now posted your Index of Records.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's very good news. And how do we get to that? In case anybody asks.
It is on. It was a fairly indirect link, which is why I had never noticed where it was. If you go to the city's homepage and search for Index of Records, you will find a link there. There's the gentleman who pointed out the problem to me found it in some other way, but I don't actually remember now what that was.
So you just go to sfgov.org and then go to, is there an Index of Records on that homepage? Is it under I or?
I don't think it's on the homepage. Well,
maybe, do you know how to get to it, Chris? The Index of Records?
From the city directory, you go to the GSA, General Services Agency website.
Go to General Services Agency website?
And the link is on that page.
What is the GSA website address?
I do not know it
Would
offhand.
would you go to sfgov.org and then agencies? And then
click on agencies and go to GSA, General Services Agency.
Agencies.
Because that is the agency that is maintaining the...
Could we go to sfgov.org and then go to agencies and then go to Art Commission? Could we get it that way?
It is actually a page on, it's not on the Arts Commission's website, it's actually on the city administrators or the GSA's website. So to find it, you go through the city website.
But what I'm thinking of is that if people are looking for it, they don't know that they're supposed to go to the GSA website. So is there any way you could post it on you could link it to the Art Commission website? Could you talk to Ditas about that?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think what would be the...
Because I know I work very closely with the, what is it called, webmaster at sfgov.org on this other group that I chair. And we just opened a website, and we just say we'd like to link this to this, and we'd like this to appear.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to visualize where exactly on the Arts Commission website would be the logical place to put the link.
Well, they could probably find it. They could probably figure it out.
They don't. They can. It's not a question of knowing how to put the link there. It's, you know, it's sort of the design of the thing. How do you figure out if a person is looking for it, where would be the place that they would look? We probably can.
But I would think if someone wants the Art Commission website, if someone wants the Index of Records for the Art Commission, they would go to the Art Commission website. They wouldn't know to go to the GSA website. So, Ernie, do you have any thoughts on this?
Possibly there could be a
Ernie's our attorney.
On the Arts Commission website, there might be a note for information on Index of Records, go to GSA website. I mean, you might have a note somewhere.
Could they do that?
On the page to direct, without having an actual link. I mean, or you could have the actual link just for records. Maybe that could be.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see what we can figure out about that. That would make sense.
Could you let Chris know? Could you give me your phone number again?
Yes, it's 415
Uh-huh.
252
352,
252
sorry,
2591.
2591, okay. Yeah, because, I mean, it seems like, I mean, I feel like this huge expert now that we put the Library Citizens Advisory Committee website together, but it just seems that the webmaster people are really sharp, and if you tell them what you want, they can kind of figure out how you can get it. So, I mean, I'm so pleased that you did it.
The question I think that I'm trying to figure out, how is not hard, the question is where. That's what I'm trying to figure out. So I will
Right.
go back and look at our website and think about where is the logical place for it.
Okay, that's great.
Okay.
And, you know, as you know, our attorney, Mr. Ernie Laurenti, suggested a link on your homepage saying go to GSA website to get this. And I suggested maybe webmaster at sfgov.org could figure out how to put it on your homepage. So anyway, brava for doing all this work, and we're looking forward to the final product.
Okay, so will you need, what would you like me to do to wrap that up? Can
I'd
I
like
send you an email or a letter or?
Yeah, just you could send it to Chris Rustum at sfgov.org, or
Okay.
what is it? What is it, Chris? SOTF at SOTF for Sunshine Task Force,
Okay.
Sunshine Ordinance Task Force at sfgov.org, and just tell him, then he'll send me an email.
Okay.
And then if I need to call you, I'll give you a call.
Okay,
But I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Good night.
Good night. And we could just indicate that Doyle, Member Johnson arrived. And Member Johnson, I'll just clue you in that we're having an informal meeting today. We found out, Member Williams told us 10 days ago that she had a previous engagement, but we found out around noon today that Member Washburn had some kind of a crisis at work and was unable to come. So we are having another informal gathering, and we've got Lieutenant Mahoney here. I'm just delighted to see him back there. And we just talked to Sharon Page Ritchie of the Arts Commission about her index of records. And I guess Mr. Lieutenant Mahoney is going to give us an update also. It's so nice to see you today.
You too. Good afternoon, Ms. Cawthon, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Rustum, Mr. Laurenti. Apologize for being late. I had a city attorney's conference that went a little longer than I thought.
Oh, boy.
Just to give you an update on the index of record status with us, I've been waiting for a final counting of all our records. We officially, as I said before, we officially took up this task in 2004, and then somewhere shortly right after that, it kind of fell by the wayside for whatever reason. Now that we're picking it up again, I've asked all the different subunits or departments in our main department to give us an updated list of their records that may have been created or implemented since 2004. I've been coordinating that through our planning division, who apparently just lost their captain about a month ago to retirement, and they've been, like every other agency here in the city, underworked, overstaffed, and everything, or understaffed and overworked.
Right.
In any case, I've got about 95% of it back. What my next step is to get the Record Destruction Act approved for any of the new forms. I'm going to be asking our city attorney if I can send what I have with the current Record Destruction Act to the city administrator to get it on the site.
I didn't hear the term you used. The current record.
Our Record Destruction Act.
Oh, Record Destruction Act. Okay.
Because we need to get that updated. And the original plan was going to be that once the new Record Destruction Act was approved, and then because it has to be approved by our city attorney, and then also has to be approved by our commission, then we could just send that as a package to the city administrator. Because this is taking so much longer than I thought it was going to originally, what I'm going to be asking the city attorney is if I can go ahead and send what we have now directly to the city administrator, so they can get something on the website. And then once we get it finalized, have the website updated. It's double work, but it gets it on much quicker.
I agree. So can you just send it in form in
Electronic format?
And yeah, you can just send it in your this is our index of records to date.
Yes.
Right. Great.
Right, but I can't send anything until Ms. Stump approves. It gives her seal of approval on this.
Who is she? Is it Mark?
Molly
Is
Stump.
Margaret
Molly.
Bonga?
Molly Stump is the Deputy City Attorney representing the police
Molly,
sheriffs.
what is her last name?
Molly Stump, as in cut tree.
STUMP.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it used to be Margaret Baumgartner, I think, a long
It did.
time. Yeah, she
Yes.
was great.
She is.
I don't know Molly, but she sounds like, you know.
She's good too, but
Good.
but I have to tell you that between the chief's office, and my office, and a few others, we hit her with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So she certainly is keeping busy with us.
Great, great. Well, I'm sure you can help her work into her new job as you work into your new job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Member Johnson, do you have anything to say?
No, not at this time.
Okay. Well, so we're really pleased. Is there anything we can do to help you?
No, if I got your, I appreciate you sending me the PowerPoint for
Great.
the SOTF. I have a Public Records Act class coming up for members of our department that are unfamiliar with the Records Act. So that's going to be coming up at the end of April, and I plan to show the PowerPoint to that class as well, so that
Great.
to bring them up to speed on the Sunshine Ordinance, as well as the class basically touches on Cal PRA, and I want to also bring out the differences in the city ordinance as well as with the Cal PRA laws.
You want to show the difference between the SO and the PRA?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds great. Can we come?
If you'd like.
Could I come?
Sure.
Would you send me an email and tell me?
I certainly will.
I'd love to. I'd love to see you in action.
Well, it's
You're
not
good
me.
enough.
No, I'm bringing a pro in. It's not me.
Who's going to do it? Someone from the city
Deb-
attorney?
No, Deb Felahy she's a retired member of Oakland. I'm not sure if she's with the PD back over there, but she teaches the PRA class for CPOA.
Oh, she
Here in the
does.
state, yes.
What's CPOA again?
California Police Officer Association.
Oh, okay. And so she teaches it for, okay, who teaches for CPOA. That'd be great. If you could send me a reminder, I'd love to. I always enjoy coming down to 650.
Okay, well, actually, this will be at 350 Amber over the Academy.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
that's,
I have a classroom out there already set up for it.
that's good too. That's
Okay?
good too. Yeah.
I will certainly let you know.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you for coming. We'll just
Very good.
follow up. And when you get it up, when you get the partial index up, could you send us an email message so we could go and look at it? It'll be on the SFPD website, right?
I'm going to be asking for both. What you just had with the previous person up
Right.
here, I think is a great idea. No, I'm planning to send it to the city administrator. But
Okay.
once we find the link on the SF.gov, on the police side of SF.gov, I'm going to ask our webmaster to put a link to it. So that way you either go to SF.gov directly or you go to SF.gov Police and you can find it.
Okay, great. SF.gov, police. Okay, so that's perfect.
Okay.
And, we really appreciate your cooperation, and it's just so nice for you to come down here and let us know how it's all going.
No problem.
And if there's anything else we can do, just give us a call.
I certainly will.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Lieutenant Mahoney.
Very good. Take care.
Bye. Okay, so that's good that we settled that. So, what's the next thing? What could be the next item? Huh? We can't do anything, but we can talk.
I've talked to the head of YBR Promotions. She's very interested in coming and to speak to us. However, she has been out of the country and will be for like another week.
Right.
So since this is an informal meeting anyway, perhaps we can just like continue that and give her an email. I have her email if you want to email her.
What's her name?
Her name is Brittany, and it's at ybrpromotions@aol.com.
YBR Promotions. And what's her name?
Brittany.
Brittany? Mm-hmm. Okay. Britta. And does she have a last name?
She does, but I don't know it.
Okay.
But she owns the company.
Okay. Well, now, the thing of it is, the thing that I was thinking about is that Ernie, did you want to say something?
No, we were asking about 911. What jurisdiction it's in.
911?
Had a new building, and I thought that was run by emergency management. Those are the side questions.
So about the brochure, I mean, I'm cool with it the way it is. But at the last meeting, Doyle and Allison said they would do a revision. So I just wondered if you'd had a chance to take a look at it, Doyle.
No.
Are you still up for it?
I am. I will be out of town for the rest of this month, but if Allison could get a hold of me and contact me, then maybe we could work something
Why
out
don't you
together.
contact her?
Okay,
We've got her
do that.
number somewhere. 440, and what was the rest of it? Do you remember? Can we find that out? So that you
Just
could
send me
give.
an email.
Yeah, just so that Doyle to contact Allison, update. Yeah, I mean, as I said, I'm cool with it the way it is, but you guys wanted to make it more punchy and put more important stuff toward the front.
I think we just had some ideas, but nothing was really concrete.
So I'll just appoint you chair of a subcommittee of the brochure subcommittee.
Okay.
Okay? So you contact her and talk about the changes, and then can you be prepared to come back to our May meeting with some ideas for how to change this?
Sure. Most of my ideas before wasn't really focused on the brochure as much as it was more as generating awareness for the Sunshine Ordinance,
Okay. So you're
which is why we were going to invite the head of YBR promotions. But I'll contact Allison and we'll dig out the details.
Because if you think of any way this could be made more punchy, that's certainly fine with me. The thing of it is that, are you okay, Ernie? If you're not feeling well, maybe we don't really. If you're really sick, Ernie, we don't need you here. I mean, if you are you really feeling ill?
Not ill, just
Huh?
I'm like, what we talked about before, and this comes in several different languages.
Right.
This is the details. It's like what our main goal is as EOT is. It's like the first was to generate awareness, and then bring people into this or bring people to the website, because people can request this, can't they? Or do they have to come down here?
They can call us and we can send it to them.
Yeah.
We can mail
So
it to
we may
them.
not have to make any
But
changes to this.
This
but-
is not EOT.
Yeah.
This is for the task force.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And also, please keep in mind that there isn't any budget for it.
Yeah. That was the other thing.
Oh, because I think at the last meeting, Ernie said something about that the city could print it for us.
Yes, but the department has to pay another department to print it, and that requires money.
And usually these are on a, like, as a certain number of these disappear, then they're reprinted, correct?
I keep about, say, 10 of each,
Yeah.
and as the numbers go down, I just keep adding on.
Well,
So-
the woman at YBR said she could do 1,000 for 250, and I talked to somebody in North Beach who said he could do, or she could do 5,000 for 250.
So,
I talked to a guy in North Beach who said he could do 1,000 for 50, which is the same thing.
so I'm like, I'll take, I'm like, if it's, there's a difference between a brochure and a pamphlet. Did they say they would do a brochure, or did they say that they would do like a flyer?
I think they said a flyer.
Yeah, see, that's more on the cost line. So if you have a contact in that and want to email that to me, then I'll talk to Allison and we'll see what we might be able to do as a budget from $50 to $250 for the task force. But that might not change the brochure. That would be more of just like, and what we want to do is to generate awareness to the task force, awareness to Sunshine Ordinance.
Right. When I used to go around and do presentations, we would simply take a copy of the ordinance and pass it out. Do we have a lot of copies of the ordinance still?
We print it on an as-needed basis. We print it on an as-needed basis.
I see. Well, it'd be cheaper to have these than to have the ordinance, but of course the ordinance is, I guess if I had to write this from scratch, I would do it differently, but, I'm not sure this is something I want to take on if Allison and Doyle are willing to do it.
We'll review it, and we'll review what our options are, and then the best we could probably do is bring it before, would it be the whole task force? Yeah, for decision.
But I mean, I know a little bit about printing, and this is an 8.5 by 11 sheet, and it's printed in 3 columns on 2 sides and then folded. So I don't know, if that costs more than just folding it down the middle or what. But it just seems to me that it's not too complicated. It seems to me that the text redoing the text would be much more complicated than getting this printed. But it would be useful if once we do start making presentations, it would be useful to have something to pass out. And in the days when I was doing the presentations, we just had loads and loads of those ordinances that were in that green envelope, in that green in the booklet with the green cover.
Those days are over.
Huh? You used up all of them? Yeah. And do we have money for printing more?
No.
It's a matter of budget,
Yeah. Well,
but we'll see what we can do.
we'll see what we can do. So, do you want to invite this woman?
I already have. Hopefully she can attend our next meeting.
So can you let Chris know so we can put it on the agenda?
Sure. If you just want to continue that item.
So what would she be telling us? What would Brittany be telling us if she comes?
She will be telling us what she is available to do and willing to do for the task force. And then I suppose it would be up to the task force as a whole to see what we want to do with that. If we don't have a budget of our own, if people want to chip in, if she wants to do it pro bono, it just really depends. It's going to be a matter of discussion.
Well, I know that Office Depot prints the newsletter of the Coalition for SF Neighborhoods pro bono. And I know some of the people out there in the Potrero store, so I thought I could ask them. I mean, what does it hurt? It doesn't hurt to ask.
No, it doesn't hurt to ask. But if you want me to be the chair of the subcommittee on getting some of that stuff done, if you have contacts and if you can ask them, or if you have experience in the past for people doing stuff like that pro bono, then when we get some people in here and I talk with Allison, I'll be more informed to make a presentation.
Okay. By the way, speaking of phone numbers and contact information for our members, do we have an up-to-date roster? Yeah. I think I have it. I mean, but I don't know if Doyle's a new member. I don't know if he has a copy. So maybe you could just give him the whole roster.
Well, that packet was provided when the members were sworn in. Every member got a copy.
Every member gets a new roster. Okay. Okay. So that's fine. So that's kind of what we can do. The next item is. Could we have the next item, please? Could you read the next item, please?
Next item is the
Number 5.
the next steps for on the task force referrals of the SFPD and SFPC postings of index of records.
I'm just looking at the original number 5, which was outreach newspaper list. That's on page.
Sorry. Okay, outreach newspaper list. Yeah. What I've done is I've provided you a list there, and as we go on, we can just keep on adding names of the newspapers.
Yeah. Well, is that what I sent you? That because the one that I looked at had addresses and phone numbers.
I think you sent me 3 more items to add to my original list.
I thought I sent you a long list with addresses and phone numbers that I had gotten from,
The email that you sent
yeah.
got to me past 4 o'clock.
I'm sorry, I'm having a terrible time hearing you. Got to you when?
The email that you sent me
Yes.
reached me past 4 o'clock, so I could not include it.
But do you still have it?
I still have it, yes.
Could you open it
Could I open it?
and see what it says?
I opened it, yes.
And what did it say?
It was basically the same, just different wording.
It's the same as what's on page 25 here. On page 27.
Are you talking about the email that you sent me 2 months ago?
I'm talking about the email I sent you that had a list of all the publications
Okay,
and their contact.
Okay, I'll replace that list.
The one I sent you was it was a list of many publications and their contact information. So that's what we want to use when we do our newspaper articles. And it had. So do you still have that, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Could you email that back to me? Because I sort of depended on the fact that you were getting it, and I wouldn't have to think about it anymore. So the newspaper list, because we need a list of the neighborhood newspapers and their contact information, and there's a group called the Neighborhood Newspaper Association, I think. Could you try and find out if we don't have that in that the master list that I sent you doesn't the master list that I sent you have all that information in it? Names,
Yes.
phone numbers.
Yes.
Okay, so if you could send that back to me, I'll have a look and see what we've got. Because we need, let's see, Chris is sending to Sue. And we need contact information for the neighborhood newspapers. Info. Can you think of a way to get that? Could you call the Richmond Review and ask them?
Sorry, who do I call?
Richmond Review. It's called Richmond Review. And I can't remember the guy's name. But ask the editor, tell him you're the Sunshine Task Force and we want to do some outreach to the neighborhood newspapers. And could he get us the contact for the Neighborhood Newspaper Association so we could get some contact information? His name is Paul Kozakiewicz. Paul, it's like, phonetically it's Kosakiewitz. Paul Kozakiewicz. But I don't know how he spells his last name. But that's how he pronounces it. And he owns that paper, and he owns the Sunset Beacon, and he's a good guy. And if he could help us out, that would be great. And if that doesn't work, call the Marina Times. And the editor is named Sue. I can't think of her last name. And maybe ask her if she could plug us into the Neighborhood Newspaper Association. Okay? Okay.
I believe the Chronicle just did an article on Sunshine Ordinance and
They did?
interviewed Member Craven and Member Nee.
Really?
Is anyone aware of that? I don't think it was today's paper, but it was referring to the mayor's office and the ethics commission. Member Craven and Member Nee were interviewed in there.
I sort of remember that, but I'm not sure. I can't remember the connection. Do you remember the connection, Ernie?
Open government,
Was it? Yeah. Was it during Open Government Week, or
perhaps.
how long ago was that? I
have
do
the paper
vaguely.
at home. I don't know. I have the paper at home.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So,
I'm sure one of us could ask them. They would remember.
yeah. Do you want to put it on yourself to ask? You're going to be
I
at
can ask them both on Tuesday.
You're going to be at the CAC committee. Ask them both. Who they talked to. What was the date? We can look it up on their website. Okay, so the next one is a custodian of records list. And so since the list is absolutely brilliant, thank you so much. You've done a wonderful job. Huh? It's still in progress, but look at it. I mean, my God. Starts on page 31, and it's wonderful. I could make a couple of changes for you as long as we're on it. On page 33 on the top, Library Commission is Sue Blackman, SUEBLACKMAN. 557-4233. And Library Citizens Advisory Committee, you can put my name, although I'll probably regret it. But I'm currently the chair, and you got my phone number there.
3910737.
Yeah. So that's, this is great, though. I mean, you know, it's got most of them. And how, well, maybe at some point, maybe we could just continue this, because we kind of like to fill it in. Do we have, under police, do we have Lieutenant Mahoney?
Yes, we do.
And MLP. Police Department, Lieutenant. Should we put Daniel Mahoney so we'll know what his first name is? Daniel Mahoney. And who's Lieutenant Riley on the Police Commission?
Joe Riley.
What's his name? Joe Riley. Joe? Okay. So how do you do this list? Just when they come in, or how do you? Because this is just great.
Visit the website, go to the index of records, cross-reference it.
So do you think you could do a few each month? Like maybe 5 each month? I don't like make you do a huge job, but
It's
it would
going
be...
to take some time.
Huh?
I don't think I can put a deadline to it.
Okay. But I mean,
Because the turnover,
it would be good if we could fill in some of the blanks. And under Public Utilities Commission, Mike Hausch is their custodian, but what about Public Utilities Commission Water? Is that a different one?
water will be Tony Winokur.
That's Tony Winokur.
Yes.
Okay. So we can put him in. And we know Tony's, we've got his phone number, right? So could we insert that under PUC Water? Okay. And then Art Commission, we have Sharon Page Ritchie. Let's see. Yeah, that's under Art Commission. It's Sharon Page.
Page Ritchie.
It's Page Ritchie, so you could change that one around. Okay. So, Doug, do you have any more ideas on that?
Nope.
Okay. And on our work plan, I forget what we were supposed to do about the work plan. Here it is. Mission statement. Where is the work plan? Well, we already had it's on page 37. Don't we have a different work plan than we do a mission statement? No, this is this mission
I
statement.
put the mission statement in there because I could not find the work plan.
You couldn't find a
I
work
couldn't
plan?
find it.
Didn't we have a work plan? Some of our first agenda stuff? A work plan as opposed to a mission statement?
I checked the file. It wasn't in there.
Let me see. I don't know. So there's nothing, because there used to be a work plan. in the original documents, remember the original documents that had our original mission statement? There was also an original work plan. Didn't we have that in the when I first took over as chair? Didn't we have that in our packages?
That was part of the bylaws, right? The paragraph that you had in there.
It was part of our bylaws?
The bylaws.
The bylaws of the Sunshine Task Force? I don't know. Okay. Anything else? Do you have anything? One of the things I just wanted to talk about, only Doyle and I are here, but Marjorie is pretty good about attending. So we had a really bad time this month about having the meeting take place at all. And we got the agenda package out late because we weren't sure if we were going to have to change it, because Marjorie had told us a couple of weeks ago that she had to go to a christening. And so I was prepared to change it if we didn't have a quorum. But we did hear from you and from Allison, so we had the quorum. But then we heard today from Allison that she couldn't make it. And I called Kristen Chu and asked her if she could come or she could send somebody. But, it was like 1 o'clock, so she didn't really have the time. So I'm just trying to think of a way that we can, we had two people coming from departments, and it's just, you can't really officially transact business if you don't have a quorum. We're having an informal gathering, and we're hearing from people what they're going to do, but we can't pass motions, and we can't take any official action. So what do you think is a good way of making sure that we've got a quorum well in advance?
Things always come up. Marjorie gave us as much notice as she could, and then of course today Allison had an emergency.
Right.
I was just late getting here because of the weather.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, we have to have, how many do we have to have a quorum? 3 to have a quorum.
Yeah.
So if like, we have alternatives, it's just that none of them worked out this time. Like, we have had a slow start this year, but I think probably a little bit of patience and more faith in the other members of the task force, because can't any member of the task force show up, or does it have to be Chu?
My sense there has to be, the chair has to formally appoint a person to attend. The chair can always attend and fill in.
Can she
Here's the deal, though. I mean, usually it's kind of unusual to have a committee of 4. Most committees are odd, as you know. So that when you have a committee of 3, all you need is 2. Mm-hmm. But when you have a committee of 4, you need 3, and that's really a hardship,
Yeah.
So you might consider having the chair reduce the number to 3, and I think it's more workable.
So maybe, I have a couple of ideas too that, and I discussed them with Chris, because, we put Chris on the spot. We have to just dash everything together, and since we couldn't really invite Lieutenant Mahoney from the police department and Miss Paige Ritchie until we knew the date, we didn't even get to this until Monday. I thought we could put out the quorum call maybe 10 days before our meeting and ask them to respond by a week before our meeting. And then we will know whether we have a quorum. And if we don't, we can ask Chris to appoint somebody or to come herself. Second thought is we could ask one of the members to consider if any of the members would want to resign. And 3, we could ask if any of the task force members who aren't on this committee would like to be on. And then we've got 5 people. But that's an awful lot, don't you think, Ernie?
Yeah, it is. I mean, you'll have the same problem. You'll have to have at least 3.
Yeah. Well, Hanley said he was interested. Henley
But
Chan.
If we did have 5 people instead of 4 people,
More
and you
chance of
still
getting-
have to have 3, then you have more of a chance of someone
3.
coming.
Right. Right.
Personally, even though I understand the mechanics of having less people, if Hanley's interested, then I would prefer to ask him to be on here because it sets a good example for more commitment instead of less commitment.
Right. Okay. I mean, ask Hanley. Yeah, he would be a good member. I mean, I know that he has commitments with working, which is why he hasn't been on any committee. But he said at our last task force meeting that what we were doing sounded really interesting, and he wanted to be on it.
So the number would still be the same for a quorum. It would be 3.
We still have
We
to
would
have
just have a
3.
better chance
have more
of having that 3
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
And
And-
setting, like I said, more of an example of more commitment from our
Right.
task force members instead
Right.
of less commitment.
So maybe we'll think big, and at least for a month, and then we will send out the quorum call 10 days in advance. Yeah, and then we can act accordingly. Because I mean, it worked out great today, and we had such wonderful response from the departments. And also, we're supposed to have Mr. Hartz here speaking at every public comment, remember, and telling us how awful we were. But
But I guess since it's not an official meeting, he didn't.
well, he didn't know that though. but I consider that it's nice that that he didn't tell us how awful we are. Maybe he doesn't think we're awful. Maybe it's just other people he thinks are awful. Anyway, anything else? Anything from Ernie? Or I feel so sorry about Ernie. I feel like I should drive you home. Well, if we have no further, I've got the ballet at 8, so I got to kill some time between the ballet and now. That's okay. It was the first time I can cool down today. I was just like, what are we going to do about the meeting, you know? But it worked out perfectly, you know. So and it's
be
nice to
okay.
have you here, Doyle.
We're,
It really is.
we're making it.
We're making it. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, then we're in, by a rising vote, we're in adjournment. So we'll have a nice report to make to the full